Hello and welcome to my channel. This is my first video on my new channel, eBay UK Seller Talk. So I'm a UK seller who has been selling on eBay for about 18 years, more or less. So I've got quite a bit of experience, and obviously the reason I've started this channel is essentially to help people, but also because there's quite a lot of interesting things to say about eBay. Some of the stories and strange things that happen. And if I share some of my stories with you, A, you might find them useful, and B, you might also find them amusing. So I'm assuming that you're also either a seller or hoping to become a seller. And I'd like to kick off this episode by talking about oddball buyers. Now, what's an oddball buyer? An oddball buyer is somebody who um, behaves out of the norm, seems a little bit kind of weird when they contact you with some of their questions, and make you feel a little bit uneasy when you start selling to them, and then everything seems to go wrong. So, I'd like to give an example of one of these. Now, my business on eBay, I've been doing more or less the same thing for the last 18 years. I started off selling watches, and then I gradually evolved into a parts supplier. So I no longer supply watches. My speciality is watch parts, and I'll post a link to my eBay store if you want to look at it. So yeah, so I'm selling watch parts, and yeah, I've had lots of oddball buyers where in the early days you see them, you think, oh, that seems a little bit odd, and uh, things start to go wrong with these buyers, and it's kind of avoidable because if you find a buyer who you think is going to be a problem to you, I would advise blocking the buyer. If somebody contacts you, and there are many reasons why I would block somebody, and I'll give you some of those reasons. But let me just tell you a little story which kind of illustrates what I mean by oddball buyer. So about 6 months ago, I was contacted by somebody before he made a purchase, telling me that he's in the watch trade. He started a new website and he wants to give all his trade to me. Well, straight away that rang alarm bells because it's not unreasonable that he started a website selling watches, and it's not unreasonable that he wants to come to me for supplies because I'm a reliable supplier. What is odd, though, is that he says he wants to give all his business to me. Now, there's no reason why anybody would say this, unless they're angling for a special discount, but it did sort of raise alarm bells a little bit. And I looked him up online and went to look at his website. And he is selling, actually, it's quite a well designed website. It looks fairly professional, but he's selling brands which nobody has ever, which I've never heard of. We know about the big brands, Rolex and Tag Heuer, Omega at the top end, and then lower down you've got Citizen, Seiko, and then lower down than that you've got Casio, etc. But the watch brands that he was selling, personally, I've never heard of, which in a way is a good thing for him because Seikos and Citizens and Rolexes, it's a crowded marketplace. Prices are fairly low, margins are tight. So it's quite possible he thought that by selling unusual niche brands, it would bring him more interest and more profit, which actually I can see how that would be viable. But at the same time, if I was getting back into watches, I wouldn't be getting into brands that nobody knows about because the watch business is very brand oriented, and the big brands have got reputation. They do a lot of advertising, and they're the watches that people want. Seiko's, Citizens, and Longines, Swiss watches, and this is this is what people buy. They don't buy, I can't remember the brands that he had, but they were sort of priced at around 100 to £300, and they looked fairly nice, but still, the average sort of watch oriented person, hobbyist, I couldn't really see him buying these. They might be, they might actually sell better in a fashion shop like Emporio, Armani, that type of thing. So, but just coming back to this guy, um, he said that he would be back to me at some point when he wanted to buy something. And what happened was that there was nothing from him for several weeks. Well, surprise, surprise. I didn't expect anything, and I wasn't really looking out for him. I just said, "Well, it's nice to his reply to his message. I said, it's nice that you've contacted me, and good luck with your venture. And I'd be happy to supply you with any parts that you may need." So off he went, and suddenly there was a purchase from him. He bought one of my watch straps, and it's an 18 millimeter watch strap. I mean, it says it in the title. It's 18 millimeters, and it also says in the title may fit 20 millimeters. So it's kind of flexible. It will fit a 20 millimeter watch, but the fit isn't perfect. I've said all this in the description. So he bought the item, paid for it, and then he sent me a message saying, "Send me the 22 millimeters." Do you get that? I'm advertising it fits 18 millimeters, can fit 20, but it's not an ideal fit. And he's saying, "Send me 22 millimeters." So this this really, under normal circumstances, if somebody said that, I would block them straight away. But there's an issue because he hasn't left his feedback. So I saw straight away that he was what I call a screwball, and I didn't really ever want to deal with him again because what he's done there is he's not read the item. He's probably bought it in a hasty hurry, and then he's seen that, oh, it's just 18 mil or 20 millimeters, and he said, "Send me the 20." I don't do 22 millimeters in that design. He could have at least said, "Oh, sorry, I've made a bit of a mistake. I really needed 22 millimeters. Do you have that?" And then I would have said, "Oh no." He would have said, "Oh, sorry to trouble you and waste your time. Can you cancel?" And then I would have cancelled, and everything would have been fine. But he said, "Oh, send me 22 millimeters." So I said, "No, sorry, don't do 22 millimeters. I'll cancel the order, shall I?" He said, "Yes, do that and refund." So that's what I did. I refunded him. I thought, oh dear me. I thought I saw the warning signs from his first message when he was saying he's going to give all his business to me, and he started his own website, etc., etc. Now he's bought an item I've cancelled. It's cost me money because even though eBay refund most of the fees, there's a 30% transaction charge which you never get back. So he's cost me 30 pence as well. But at this point, I would pay £1 just for him to go away and never come back to me again. But I couldn't block him because he hadn't left feedback. And I knew that if I blocked him, he's got the right to leave feedback. He might leave me negative feedback just for blocking him. So I let it go. I refunded him his money. And then nothing from him for another month. And then suddenly I see that he's bought one of my bargain items. I've got some straps which I normally sell for £25, similar to the first one that he bought, but better quality. But this one had been a return. Somebody had returned it for no good reason. It was in perfect working order. And he bought it for £10 because I'd had it hanging around. I tried selling it for 15, it wouldn't go as used. I had to because somebody had had it and it wasn't in absolutely A1 condition. It didn't go for 15, so I knocked it down to £10 just to clear it out of the way. A bargain actually, because the trade price for me on that is, um, I was selling it really below trade price. So he bought it. He paid £10 for it, and I think he sent me a message saying, "Oh, can you get this out as soon as possible?" or something like that. So I sent it out to him, and then I heard nothing. And about 3 weeks later, he contacted me to say it's faulty, it doesn't work. Can he have his money back? Well, surprise, surprise. And now he's got 2 transactions on my account, can leave 2 feedbacks. And I think, oh, I'm blocking him. If he, I appreciate that he may leave negative feedback. I'll have to just live with that. But I don't want to. I don't want to deal with this person again. So I blocked him first of all, and then I said, "Well, start a return and return it. I'll pay the shipping back." And he said, oh, "Okay then." But he never did start a return. About another 2 weeks later, he sent me a message saying, "Oh, I've packed it up and I'm sending it back to you." And he sent me a photograph of the packet, and he's written my name and address on the outside of a. It looks to me like a Jiffy mailer, which has been torn to shreds, and he's taped it back together. And his handwriting is like the handwriting of a 5-year-old child. It's absolutely ridiculous. And to think that this guy's got his own website, and well, I mean, I didn't know what to think about that, but I didn't really waste too much time on it. And he did come back eventually. He sent it back second class, and when I got it out. I looked at it, and actually he'd scuffed it and he'd damaged it a bit, but it seemed to be functional. I think he couldn't work out how it actually works. I threw it straight away because I thought I don't want to relist this thing. It's now scuffed. He's ruined it. I refunded him his £10, and he's now thankfully left me positive feedback for both transactions. He's blocked, so he can never buy from me again, and I never want to hear from him again. He may contact me soon and say, "Oh, you blocked me. I want to buy something," and I'll say, "Look, I say you bought 2 items off me. One, you didn't read the listing, and the other one, you sent back a working item and you scuffed it, and I had to throw it away." I said, "I'm sorry, I don't want to deal with you again. So uh, you'll have to go somewhere else to buy your supplies. Good luck to you." If he comes to me and he says, "Oh, you blocked me, why?" I'll tell him. But we're coming to the end of this video now, and try to block these people before they make the transaction. And if they send a message up front and start saying silly things like, "I want to give you all my business," or there's something else that looks a bit odd, you know, people who ask for lots of more pictures and say, "Oh, can you take some more photos for me? Because, I'm not really sure if it's what I want." That type of thing. I'll make another video on the warning signs, but if a buyer makes you feel uneasy when he starts messaging, um, don't put it to the test. Block him or her, whatever. Because if you've got an uneasy feeling about a buyer, the odds are that that intuition is going to prove correct. So that's all I've got to say. I told you this story, and that was a big waste of time for me on 2 transactions. It cost me money and time. 99% of eBay buyers are absolutely fantastic. I love them. I love dealing with them. But there's the odd screwball who will waste your time, and those people are not worth dealing with, and prevention is better than cure. Okay, so I'll leave it there, and I'll be coming back with more eBay videos. I hope you enjoyed this. Leave comments if you want. Subscribe to my channel. If you want to, there will be more content. And if you like this video, give me a thumbs up. Okay, all the best. Talk to you soon.